with. A lot of good coping skills that people like to use are to read, take space, self-talk. Like I said, exercise is a good one. It takes your mind off things. But one of the things that we have to realize with our coping skills is it's very important that we come back and handle the situation. It's usually we're using coping skills to calm ourselves down so we can think more clearly. But a lot of times when we're using bad coping skills, it enables us to relax, get away from the situation, and sometimes not come back. A perfect example of that is drinking. When you become an adult and you're over the age of 21, you can drink. For some of us, you have a bad day at work, you go and drink. You have a good day at work, you go and drink. You get a raise, you go and drink. You're using some type of coping skill. But drinking is a perfect example of a coping skill that can be used in a positive manner, but if overdone, it can cause many, many issues. So one of the things that I always say is, don't rely on the same coping skill. If you drink and then it relieves your stress, that's temporary. That's why I don't say use drinking as a coping skill for most people, because it's a temporary release from the stress that you're dealing with. Are you able to come back and deal with that situation later? A lot of people will drink and continue to drink, and then they forget the problem, and tomorrow you got to wake up and deal with that problem again. So do you get to go drink again, or should you use a more appropriate coping skill? A coping skill that most people should develop is talking to others. Go find somebody that's outside of the situation that you're dealing with and go speak with that person about the situation. Somebody who's going to give you their open and honest opinion. They're going to say, hey, Steve, you're wrong. You should look at it this way. Or, hey, Steve, you're right. But if you explain it to this person like this, it'll go a lot better. A lot of us use taking space as one of the best coping skills ever. When you get in a car, say if somebody rear-ends you, you usually sit in your car and grab your steering wheel and just think. And then you get out of the car and you can handle that situation better. Some of us don't even think at all. We get out, we have road rage, we yell, cuss, but that doesn't resolve the situation. That doesn't make that other person want to work with you in getting the situation resolved. So one of the things that we need to remember is that using coping skills is also to get a situation resolved. And if we think about that, we can think about more appropriate coping skills to use, because we'll think about the bad ones and say, is that really going to get this resolved? If I run away from this situation, is it going to get resolved? And so when we think about using coping skills, we have to think about, is the coping skill that I'm about to use going to eventually get this situation resolved? Is it going to give me some time to think, some time to cool down, and can I come back and resolve this situation and get the ultimate goal complete, which is not having as many problems? So I know I jumped around and talked about a lot of different things with coping skills. Maybe Paula will have me back to break it down and talk about some specific things that you guys want to hear about. But that's kind of the gist of it, and I hope you guys enjoy.